What up? What up? What up, everybody? What's going on this morning? It is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. And you know what time it is. It is time for Coach Steele's Finance Training here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, where we talk about all things financial literacy. And of course, I look forward to our conversation on today. You all come on in the room. You know what to do. Make sure you meet me. Make sure you greet me. Let me know where you're listening in from, whether you're in Georgia or another state or another city. I want to hear where you're tuning in from. And good morning to you. Happy to have everybody tuning in to another session with Coach Steele's Finance Training. Here to have an awesome conversation on today. Has anybody seen the title, what this conversation is about today? Oh, yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a classic and one we're going to have to do a part two and revisit and all that good stuff. So happy to have everybody tuning in. To my beautiful wife, Yvette Steele, thank you for tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training. Awesome conversation on today. We want to talk about, are you wearing your wealth or are you working your wealth? Oh, I like that subject right there, because it's going to make us draw a line in the sand and identify our financial money habits that we have. As y'all are tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training, of course, I am live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and I'm actually live on TikTok today. But make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure you are subscribing to with me on Facebook. Are you wearing your wealth or are you working your wealth? Very good question on today. Or is it both? Do you wear it and work it? And I'm going somewhere with this. What do I mean by are you wearing your wealth? You all make sure you share the live with other people on today so that they can enter in, dive into this conversation on today. Good morning to you, Timothy Scott. Happy to have you tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training, and Tony Sherman as well. Faithful listeners to the sessions, Coach Steele's Finance Training, the YouTube channel. What do I mean? Are you wearing your wealth or are you working your wealth? What does that mean to you, Winston? What does that mean to you, Kim? When I say, are you wearing your wealth or are you working it? Because we got to identify that there are some cultures and communities that wear their wealth, and there's some cultures and communities that work their wealth. I want to talk to you all on today, Raymond. Are you wearing your wealth or are you working your wealth? Great conversation. And we're going to get right into it on today. In that comment section, I want to hear what y'all have to say here on Coach Steele's Finance Training. I'm live on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. The YouTube channel is Coach Steele's Finance Training. We're going to get into it and see, we want to teach the difference between displaying your wealth for appearances versus positioning your wealth to generate income, to create assets, and long-term financial freedom. In the comment section, if your goal is to generate long-term financial freedom, Ronald, in that comment section, just put me or raise your hand, a hand emoji, or me, whatever it is that you want to do. I want to identify the people today that their goal is to generate income, assets, and long-term financial wealth, as opposed to just having it, the appearance of it. You can look like something, but not be the real thing. Y'all see what I'm saying right there? Hey, Dayla, happy to have you tuning in, and Debbie tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training. We're talking about wearing your wealth versus working your wealth. See, there's some wealth that you can wear. There's certain things you can wear, and it doesn't appreciate in value. It depreciates in value. And then there's some things that you can work, and as you work your wealth, it will grow, it will appreciate in value, and it'll work to your benefit. And so what I want to do is deal with our mindset of, are we wearing our wealth versus are we working our wealth? Because the truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey, Nancy, everybody that's tuned in, the truth of the matter is, it doesn't take, like, whatever you spend to wear your wealth right now, if you were to lock in for, I would say, about 2 to 3 years of focusing on working your wealth in the right different asset classes, business opportunities that are presented in front of you, the same money you spend every month to wear your wealth, after those 2 to 3 years are up, you would have enough passive income or enough cash flow to spend, because of the business of working the wealth. You would have enough cash flow to spend on wearing your wealth on the capacity that you were spending it on. And then you don't have to use your regular 9 to 5 income. So we want to know the difference. So many people spend their lives trying to look wealthy, attempting to look wealthy, while others quietly build wealth. This is a great conversation on today, guys. I can't wait to see your comments and your thoughts on whether or not you are wearing your wealth, or if you're working your wealth, or if you're doing both. One focuses on image, and the other mindset focuses on income. So I need you all to shift your mindsets today as y'all share this live with other people. We're having a money conversation. And it's important that our community, everybody, have a money conversation on today. We need to tap in. There's so much stuff to look at that's viral. There's so much stuff to pay attention to on the internet that does not benefit you. It benefits someone else. But to have a conversation about your finances and your mindset here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, I need you to tap into this. And not only you tap into it, I need you to go find your neighbors, your friends, your family. Here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, you can cook your breakfast, turn me up in your Bluetooth, or you can go to the YouTube channel, put it on the TV. We need to have a conversation about finances on today. So make sure you get other people involved, tag them in this, share the live, so we can talk about wearing wealth versus working our wealth. One focuses on image, the other focuses on creating income that produces assets. The question is, are you wearing it, or are you working it for you? Now, point number one on today, guys, wearing wealth focuses on appearance. That's point number one for my note takers. When you're trying to wear your wealth, most people focus on appearance when you're trying to wear it. There are a few exceptions. Sometimes gold you wear may increase in value, or silver, things like that. Those exceptions are there. But I'm talking about 99% of the time, number one, wearing wealth focuses on appearance. Now, working wealth focuses on ownership. Now, what are some ways that we can wear wealth? In that comment section, what are some things that we can buy? What are some things that we can do where it gives the appearance of wealth? What are some of the things that we can have, acquire, or like Robert Kiyosaki calls them, doodads, like just little cool things? What are some stuff that you can acquire, go out and buy, go finance for, that will make you look wealthy? In that comment section, fill it up. I want to read off your thoughts. What are some things you may have bought in the past and it gave the appearance of wealth, but it may have really been taxing you every single month? Most people work to pay off debt, or to pay off the financing or the monthly payments of the debt. Most people work just to pay the debt and not even be able to have an access or opportunity to pay down the actual debt. So let's go further here. What are some of those things? Tony Sherman says name brand clothing. That's definitely a big one. Many people will dive into wearing name brand clothing. What are some other things out there, guys? Come on, fill it up in that comment section. What are some other things that people can buy that will give the appearance of wealth, but it doesn't mean that they're wealthy? Happy to have you all tuned in to Coach Steele's Finance Training when we're talking about wearing your wealth versus working your wealth. What are some other things out there? I'll give y'all some things that I have on my list. Wearing the wealth versus. All right, we got Tony Sherman saying name brand purses. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, that's a big one. All right, luxury clothing, expensive jewelry. Some people spend money on expensive jewelry and it's not real. What about this? High-end cars. Okay, Timothy Scott, he got it. He got that on there as well. People will spend money on fancy cars, but when you drive the car off the car lot, what happens, ladies and gentlemen? As soon as you drive that car off the car lot, what happens to the value of that car? Most cars, when you drive the vehicle off the car lot, in the comment section, what happens? Okay, so Kenise and Tim Scott were on the same mindset. She says expensive vehicles. That's it. Those expensive vehicles, now they require a monthly payment, because at that point, you are using the vehicle to give the appearance of wealth. That's right, Kenise. It decreases in value. And so that's why we want to talk about wearing the wealth versus working that wealth. I talked the other day about a point, and see, Kenisa on here reminds me of it, that you don't have to have it on you, but you need to have it in you. When it comes to acquiring wealth, when it comes to growing wealth, usually it's going to happen based on what you have in here, in your mind, in your heart, the things that you desire to do, the strategies, the wisdom, being meticulous, calculated, disciplined. It's all on the inside. Most people want to wear wealth and make it look like they have it, but wealth is not necessarily on you. It's in you. It starts right here and allows you to build to eventually to the point where people can see it. So we got luxury clothes, expensive jewelry, vehicles, designer brands. Sometimes people rush to buy designer brands when they don't have designer brand money. See what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with designer brands, but make sure you have the wealth and the money to make it make sense to buy those things. Status symbols. And so when you're trying to work wealth and you're not trying to wear wealth, you will invest in different asset classes. You will invest in businesses, whether you're a silent investor or whether you're starting a small business yourself. You will find cash flowing assets like real estate, passive income, stocks, dividend stocks, getting equity in those things, being able to leverage it. You may decide to invest in whole life insurance. You may decide to get intellectual property. These are things you need to think about if you desire to work your wealth as opposed to wearing it. I sell a t-shirt here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, and that t-shirt says, make your money multitask. When you're trying to work wealth, you will develop a mindset of making your money multitask. If you do want a t-shirt, feel free to go to the website and get yourself a Make Money Multitask t-shirt. We are having a great conversation on today about wearing your wealth or working your wealth. And so I say get the wealth, then be able to wear it so you can do both strategically where it makes sense, Zena. So as we're tuning in here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, if you can, make sure you share the live for other people to see. I do see some comments here in the comment section. Kanice says stocks, properties. That's exactly it. We want to work that wealth, not wear it. And we want to use these different asset classes. Let's go a little bit further. Let's go a little bit further on today. This is a great conversation, a good eye opener. And I may stop somebody from spending some money on something today that they didn't need to spend money on right now. A person wearing wealth often wants others to believe that they are successful. In other words, sometimes in our society, people say, fake it. And I know if y'all could talk out loud right now, I know somebody could finish that sentence, but they say, fake it until you can make it. And so some people have tried to fake it until they can make it, and they have decided to fake it until they were broke. They have been faking until they didn't have any money. They were faking until they lost their house. They were faking until they lost their car. They were faking until they lost their family. They were faking until they lost everything that was attached to them, because it's okay to be strategic with your finances and not try to wear everything and wear your wealth while you're taking time to work it, to build it up, so that you can wear it later. So if I had a system and a flow of what your strategy should be, my mindset would be, I'm going to work my wealth and then I'm going to wear it when it makes sense. We can't wear the wealth and then try to work it. That's backwards. Work it, then wear it. I like that right there. I'm going to use that again, hopefully if I can remember it. All right. So they want others to have the perception that they're wealthy. A person working wealth wants their money producing more money. And so when you're really trying to grow your wealth, you don't care what other people think about the appearance. You know what's going on behind the scenes. In that comment section, I want y'all to put, I know what's going on behind the scenes. I got some things cooking behind the scenes. I'm working on some things that you can't see. I'm working on some things that are not yet visible, but in a little while, you're going to be able to see what I'm talking about. I like things that are working behind the scenes when it comes to my money. Y'all make sure you share this live. It's some people that really need to hear and understand what we're talking about today when we talk about wearing your finances versus working your finances. This is something I'm passionate about because we have certain communities that we are just wearing our wealth, and wearing it is short term. Wearing the wealth doesn't last too long, but if you work that wealth, that thing can last for eternity. Let me look in this comment section, see what we got going on today. I see some comments in here. Let me supersize them. Tim Scott says, this is a great one. I know I'm enjoying this live right here. My girl Kanice said, you ate that up. I need Kanice on here so she can eat too. I want to eat with you. How about that? We want to eat together. Now, Courtney Big Court says, let me cook. That's what I'm talking about. You got to know what's going on behind the scenes and quit worrying about what people see or think up front. I want y'all to grasp this on today. I want you all to have so much cooking behind the scenes that when the meal is ready, when Courtney is done cooking and she brings out this platter, when she brings out this whole catering meal to everybody, they look and say, oh my gosh, when did you have this going on? I didn't see this coming. Like, when was you working on that? When did all of that happen? Because it looked like you didn't have much going on. See, that's what I'm talking about. It can give, when you are working your wealth, it can give the appearance that that person might have fell off. That person ain't coming like they used to come. I wonder why they still driving that car from 3 years ago. This car is paid for. I'm not buying another car right now. I'm working my wealth. I'm working my wealth so much to the point that if I wanted another car, that my wealth can pay for it monthly. That's what I'm talking about on today. Can you create enough assets, passive income, cash flow that it is paying your bills, that it is paying your monthly expenses, that yes, you have an emergency fund, but guess what? The emergency fund probably won't get used because I've worked my wealth so much to the point that I don't even need my emergency fund. My emergency fund, I might have to go find a different assignment for it because I've worked my wealth for so long. Guys, here on Coach Steele's Finance Training on today, we are talking about working your wealth as opposed to wearing your wealth. And we're going to do that through creating businesses. I see my boy J-Mo coming in the comment section. That's what I'm talking about. Working those businesses, working your assets, improving your skill sets, going to get certifications, whatever it is, working, increasing your education, whether you're sitting in on seminars, conferences, finding out, learning more things that aren't necessarily taught in the traditional school system. I want you all to learn how to work your wealth. Sometimes working your wealth is investing in yourself. Tony Sherman says this: looks are superficial. And let me tell y'all a little secret as y'all are tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training. Let me tell y'all a secret. Wealthy people can tell when someone's just wearing wealth or whether you're working your wealth or whether you're doing both. Because sometimes you can do both, especially once you work the wealth, then you decide to wear it, when you do it the right way. Now, I want you all to understand, you can wear wealth and you're really not fooling the people who have money. You can wear wealth and fool the people that may not understand what wealth is. So you're really trying to impress somebody who is on the same level as you. And that doesn't make sense. What you want to do is grab the attention of people who have wealth, who are growing wealth, because you may appeal to them and say, you know what? This person gets it. Let me grab hold of this person and mentor them because they're headed on the right path. So let's go a little bit further. Better business decision making. That's what I'm talking about. You got to have better business decision making. Let's go a little bit further here as we talk about wearing wealth versus working your wealth. I got so excited I might have lost my place. So you got to understand this. And my question is, would people be more impressed by your possessions or your balance sheet? I want you all to think about that. If you had to open the books, in a sense, and for people to see, would they be more impressed by your possessions or your balance sheet, your books, your P&L, your profit and loss? So yes, you got to have that mindset change, Tony Sherman. Looking rich and being rich are two different financial positions. In that comment section, say it's different. It's different. Looking rich and being rich are two different financial positions. It's different. It's not the same. You can look rich, but when an emergency comes, when disaster strikes, when there's a pandemic, when something's going on, when you try to look rich, you're going to look at all the stuff you have and you're going to wish you had the money to handle the situation. Point number 2, wearing wealth consumes cash. Working wealth produces cash. All right, y'all hear me right here? Check this out. Point number 2, wearing wealth consumes your cash. It eats up your cash. When you wear it, it makes cash disappear. It decreases the value of your cash. But if you're working wealth, it produces cash. I want to produce cash. I'm not so much, when I produce cash, then I let the cash that I produce from my investments pay for the cash that is going to be consumed. So you got to get that mindset. And when you shift that mindset, like I told you all, some of you spend money on things that you really don't need to spend money on. And you can take that same money, start saving it, get a strategy over here, and start putting that money in places that can produce cash. Start investing that money in places that will produce wealth, that will produce dividends, that will produce cash flow, that will produce passive income, right? So then you can spend those profits on that extra, on those doodads, on those other things. And so it's different. It's a different mindset. It's a shift in mentality. And if you were to dedicate 2 to 3 years of locking in and doing that, oh my goodness, it may not, for some of you, it may not even take 2 or 3 years. It might be a year and a half, might be 2 years. But if you do that for 2 to 3 years, all the money that you used to spend on that extra stuff, you will have produced some type of asset to pay for those things. And then once you do that once, it is hard to shift your mindset to go back to just consuming cash, letting those doodads, those whatever things eat up your cash anymore. You're going to always want to create more assets to pay for the things that you want. Wearing wealth consumes cash. Working wealth produces cash. Most luxury purchases lose value over time. We talked about that. We talked about the cars. We talked about fashion trends. One thing I like about Courtney Ellis and a few others that tune in to Coach Steele's finance training, Courtney will go out there and thrift shop. And because she thrift shops, she saves tons of money. And the way she dresses, you would think that she went and spent a bunch of money on her clothes, a bunch of money on her outfits. But she's just gifted with coordinating and putting things together. And my thought process is, if she can do that with clothes, she can do that with anything else. She can do that with the room. She can do that with an event that she's going to throw, because that eye of fashion and gifting of putting things together in colors can work in any environment. Because if you're faithful over a few things, if you can coordinate and put together a small outfit, then you can put together a whole room. You can be ruler over many things. All right, so let's see what Mr. Dejan has to say in the comment section. He says, I throw everything in my high yield and use the interest to buy his things. I can't see what that emoji is. And one thing that I put in one of my posts was, I said, do you wear wealth? Do you work your wealth, or both? Dejan is the reason why I have to put both, because this young man falls under the category of both. He is one of the small exceptions to the rules, because Dejan may go buy something that he can wear, but he will buy something that will increase in value over time. So whatever he bought it for, buy low, sell high, he'll be able to sell it later on. It won't lose value. So he's one of those small exceptions why I have to put both. I think I put that on TikTok. Do you wear wealth? No, I can't. No, I put it on Facebook. That was my post. Do you wear it? Do you work it, or both? And so those are some of the strategies. But like he says, he's taking the interest. A lot of y'all don't realize if you take enough time in life to build up a certain asset class, whether it's dividend stocks, whether it's a high yield interest savings account, whether it's some type of retirement fund, whether it's real estate, which I love real estate, guess what? You can take the profits from that and then use that as your budget to go buy things. And you can tell yourself, you know what? I only want to take the interest and spend that on something special for this month or for this week. And then check this out. It might motivate you to make the interest or the profits become more so that you'll have a bigger budget. And therefore, you're never pulling from your base amount of your wealth. You're never pulling from that asset itself and breaking it down to go buy things. So that means your wealth doesn't lose value. You're only spending the profits or the cash flow or the interest from your wealth. And if that asset class continues to increase in value, that means you have initiated something, ladies and gentlemen. You have ignited something, ladies and gentlemen, that is only going to get bigger. And if it's only going to get bigger, that means you have also created a legacy. You have started something that potentially can be passed down, or you've created an environment where now your wealth will only grow and it will never decrease. And that's what you want. Because inflation in America, it only grows. It never goes back to where it once started at. See what I'm saying? The value of the dollar continuously loses, the power of the dollar continuously loses value. Let's go a little bit further. I went on another tangent. Let me see what Kanisa is saying. She said, yes, my GB looking like money. Okay. Let's go a little bit further. We got Dejan who says gold. So that's another example of something that you can purchase. It can increase in value. Lord have mercy. Dejan, listen, guys. Dejan has been telling people to invest in gold for, I don't know, 5 years plus. At least I would say about 5 years. Boy, what gold was back then versus what is happening now with all this stuff with the oil and the pandemic that went by 2020, 2021, a lot of people would have a lot of wealth if they would have taken that advice back then. So he was on top of it way ahead before. A lot of people are saying now buy gold, but he's been saying it for years. I think it's been at least 5+ years at this point. All right. Let me get back to my spot. I done got a little too excited. Let me calm down. But as y'all listening to Coach Still's Finance Training, we are talking about wearing your wealth versus working your wealth. And we have to know that every dollar spent on appearance is a dollar that can't be invested into ownership. It's a dollar that can't be invested into you having an opportunity to make that money work for you. We don't want to spend on luxury cars. They can put certain luxury cars can depreciate in value. Fashion trends can change. So you got all this cool stuff, and then it's not even cool to wear anymore. And on top of this, electronics can become obsolete. Okay. All right. We figured out what Kenise was saying. She'll say, my girl. I was talking about Courtney. Okay. When you said my G be looking good or something, I thought you were talking about me. I was about to take full credit, but I didn't want to do that. Dejan says gold went from 1,300 in 2019 to over 4,000. Oh my gosh. It's hurt my mind and heart because, you can look at something like, let's say, Ethereum. I might be like, oh, guys, get some Ethereum. It goes up because Ethereum will go up from like 1,900, then it'll go to about 3,800. Then it goes back down to that 2,000 range or whatever. And it's very volatile. But gold, let's say I would have just bought some of that instead of Ethereum. Gold is still smooth, steady, climbing. 1,300 to 4,000, guys. What's the gap there? What's the difference? What's the arbitrage in there? Anybody do the math real quick? That's simple math. What is the difference? What would have been the profit? Let's say you took 1,300, bought some gold. What would be your profit right now? And then think about this. You could have done that multiple times, whether it's a refund check or whether it's you got paid, whatever it is. There's so many creative ways to acquire wealth. I do some creative things. Like when I say work your wealth, guys, and let me give you like an example. So I lightly invest in dividend stocks, but while I'm investing in that dividend stock, that account, whatever the value of my dividend stocks is, I can borrow against that value, whether it's 50% or something like that. Thank you, Tony Sherman. The difference in that 1,300 to 4,000 is 2,700. And so that would be somebody's profit margin if they did that investment one time. But if you did that multiple times, guess what? You might have a couple thousand plus. Now, when I have a dividend stock, I can borrow against the value of that dividend stock, like 50%. So I can pull out thousands of dollars, take those thousands of dollars, go put it in real estate, go put it in REITs. I can go buy gold, whatever it is. And whatever that investment is, if it's making me monthly profit, like let's say it's real estate, I can let the real estate pay that dividend stock portfolio back, whatever I borrowed against it, or whatever that asset is, or whatever that business is, whether it's t-shirts, whatever. Then when it pays it back, while I borrowed against it, it was still increasing in value. So then I can duplicate that process over and over again instead of going to buy shoes. I'm surprised somebody didn't put that as an example as wearing the wealth versus working the wealth. A lot of people now, keep in mind, I'm not talking about people who invest in shoes that increase in value. Come on now. It's Coach Steele's finance training. I'm not slow. I'm talking about people who just go buy shoes, wear them, and they don't have a savings account. Buy shoes, wear them out, and they don't have a retirement fund, or they don't invest in asset classes. Somebody who buys a lot of shoes that are expensive, they can actually go invest in something else that will buy the shoes for them. So we're talking about shifting our mindset and not just wearing the wealth, but working the wealth. Why am I talking about this? And y'all make sure y'all share the live, and hopefully this won't offend anybody. Hopefully this doesn't rub anybody the wrong way. And Coach Steele's finance training is for people, all races, culture, creed, backgrounds, all that good stuff. We don't discriminate against anyone, but I need my people to understand something very, very serious. And that's why I want y'all to share the live on today, because we have a problem. We have an issue, and I want to deal with the problem and the issue on today. And I want to hear your thoughts on this problem and this issue as soon as I can get myself out of the way and supersize this screen. I want y'all to see what this says. Let's deal with it. Let's talk about it. Why the black dollar often leaves the community. And this is the point that I want you all to really, really grasp hold of on today. This gonna blow your mind. Now, it says why the black dollar often leaves the community. Black Americans have 1.8 to 1.98 trillion, basically 2 trillion in annual buying power. Think about this. So Black Americans spend about $2 trillion a year, making them one of the most influential consumer groups in the U.S. Pick up what I'm putting down. Yet despite this economic strength, less than 2% of Black consumer dollars are spent with Black-owned business, meaning the vast majority of spending flows outside of that community. Let's see. Beauty and personal care. Black consumers spend $85 billion annually, but most of this goes to mainstream brands rather than Black-owned companies. Are you wearing it? Are you working it? And in what culture and environment are you working your money? To the point of, will you possibly see that dollar come back in your space, in your community? Apparel spending exceeds 29 to 148 billion annually, with large corporate brands capturing the majority of the market. We talk about technology and things like that. I want you all to understand, if it's less than 2% of Black consumer dollars being spent in our culture, in our community, back into our brands, businesses, I want y'all to understand something. Hopefully this opens up your eyes on today. I love this conversation on today because it causes people to have to look at themselves in the mirror and understand the long-term effects of what they're doing and why. Now, this isn't to say that other cultures are wrong for what they choose to do or what they don't choose to do. Some people don't trust Black businesses because of slave mentality. That's correct. Timothy Scott, I can tell he was disgusted by those stats. What I'm trying to tell you all, ladies and gentlemen, as y'all are tuning in, that's why I said this is important. Share this live. Other people need to see what's going on. We need other people to be a part of this important conversation on today. That means over 90% in the Black culture, Black community, over 90% of our money, we get it and it leaves. It's gone. It's out of here. You won't see it again. How do y'all feel about that on today? I want y'all to just think about it. Let it marinate. I want you all to really think about what that means for you, that when the dollar leaves your hand, it's almost 100% less than likely that you'll see any of that come back to you. Because you decided to wear your wealth in the wrong way as opposed to working your wealth to make it come back. One of my emphasis on today is to teach you to have the mentality of how do I make my dollars circulate back to me, my community, and the people that I love, the people that I care about. See, everybody's got different people that they love and care about, but how do you make that dollar circulate and come back to a place that you want it to? See, I don't know if there's a boomerang emoji, but people who want their money to come back to them when they spend it or go back to their loved ones or people that they care about, organizations, communities, churches, if you want to boomerang your money, put a boomerang emoji in there. Is there a boomerang emoji? Technology has gotten so good. There should be a boomerang in there. Come on. There should be a boomerang somewhere in there. I don't know if there's a GIF or something. Somebody draw a picture. We might have to spell boomerang out, but I don't know how many people can spell boomerang, right? Okay, I think somebody found one. That looks like something. I don't know. Let me see. Let me go to my chat section and see if I can increase the size on that. I think some people found a boomerang. Let me go down here. Boom. Boomerang mindset. That's what I want. I want my money coming back to me. It went out, but it's coming back. I'm telling y'all. Okay, we got some boomerang spellers out there. Like, I'm joking around with y'all, but I'm so serious about how I spend my money. I want it to go out, but I want it to come back to the people I love. I want it to go out, but I want some of that stuff to go back to me. So I am going to work my wealth strategically so where it has a boomerang effect as opposed to wearing it, it don't really come back. It goes away, depreciates in value. So let's go a little bit further with this conversation. Y'all make sure y'all share this live with other people. We understand that over 90% of Black Americans, their money goes out and it don't boomerang back. Less than 2%. That means almost 99%. See, once we get to less than 2%, it's 98% plus. That's bad. That's bad business. That is no bueno. That is no good. Now, I want to show y'all some more stuff here. I want you all to see the difference because I want y'all to do the math. I got some sharp people in the comment section on today, and I really want you to understand why the wealth gap is why it's so ugly, why the wealth gap is so disgusting, why the wealth gap is so bad in America. And I want you to understand the importance of wearing it versus working it, right? So I need y'all to keep up with me and follow me where I'm going, get more people in this conversation so that we can talk about the things we need to talk about and we can make progress because we got to close a gap. We got to close a gap, not just for you, but the people that are coming behind you. So let's go a little bit further. If we spend, think about this. If we spend almost 99% of our money and it doesn't come back to us, then that means it's going to be very, very difficult to grow wealth. And it's going to increase the gap. Now watch this. All right, let's read this. Let's read this. Here we go. Y'all stay with me. Why the white dollar often stays in the community. Once again, this is not to pick on a certain culture or community. Coach Steele's Finance Training is for everyone. What I'm saying is you can watch another culture, learn what they're doing, pick up certain clues, hints, strategies, principles, apply them so that you can do better for yourself and your community. The reason that white often stays, white dollar as if money has a color, right? Often stays in the community is tied to economic structure, business ownership patterns, and the local multiplier effect. That's what I want y'all to stay focused on. Local multiplier effect. Higher local spending by white-owned businesses. Research shows locally owned businesses include many white-owned tend to spend much larger share of their revenue back into their local economy compared to chain stores or online giants. Example, Civic Economics found that 52.9% of each purchase at local independents is recirculated locally. It's recirculated. It has that boomerang effect compared to less than 13.6% at chain stores. This means that when a white-owned business in a community makes a sale, a significant portion of that proceeds go to local employees, suppliers, and other local enterprises. So I want to talk to you all about that low multiplier effect when we use each other, people that you know who have businesses that are trustworthy, that are doing well, that you can lean and trust on, as opposed to going to some other place where that money won't come back to you, your community, the people that buy you birthday presents, that you go over to their house to eat Thanksgiving with. That money goes back into their houses, which also comes back to you because those are the people that you fellowship with. Now, one thing I could deal with on today that I want that you see right there, it says the lifespan of $1 in the Black community is only how many hours? Come on now. I need y'all to put that in the comment section. What does that say? The lifespan of $1 in a Black community. Those that are looking at the screen as I am live on YouTube and Facebook, what does that say? How long does the dollar last in the Black community? Come on, fill it up in that comment section. I want y'all to be able to see these things for a reason. I want you to understand why it is so important to stop worrying about trying to wear your wealth and start learning how to work your wealth to your benefit here on Coach Steele's Finance Training on today. Now, it's a big gap. There's a big gap. There's a big wealth gap, and we have to work on that. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. I know it may be a touchy subject, but I want you all to see the truth of what's happening and why. And we're going to dive back into this conversation in a second. But as I put out this data and this information, you all understand what I'm talking about. Data from 2022 survey of consumer finances show that a significant wealth disparity between household by race and ethnicity with the average Asian American household. Check this out. Asian American median net worth over $500,000. That is 1.8 times greater than that of a typical white American household of $285,000 of net worth, which now, watch this, gets greater now. 8 times greater than that of the typical Hispanic or Latino American household of $61,600, and 11.9 times greater than that of a typical Black American household whose net worth is $44,900. Net worth. Come on now. On the high end, over $500,000. On the low end, $44,000. There's a wealth gap going on. And the wealth gap is happening in part, not all, but it's happening in part because many Black people like to try to wear wealth and give the appearance of wealth as opposed to working their wealth in different asset classes, creating businesses and things like that. I want to go a little bit deeper in certain areas, but I got to keep moving, right? So we're going to keep going a little bit further. I want to open your eyes to certain things so that you all can understand what I'm talking about and why. Now, when I show you those stats, when I show you those numbers, you get to see how great the disparity is of what we're dealing with and why I'm talking about this. Tony Sherman says, burn pockets, so got to spend money. Yeah, people, it's like the money is, you act like it's burning a hole in your pockets. So they rush to spend. So it says the average dollar in a Black American person's house or in their pockets or in their bank account it only lasts about 6 hours and it's gone. That's bad. You can't hold your money for 6 hours. That means that person is paycheck to paycheck. That's the average Black American. Let's go a little bit further. $50 luxury vehicle may lose thousands annually. That same $50,000 invested could potentially generate future income and growth. Every dollar spent on appearance is a dollar that cannot be invested in ownership. Let's get to point number 3. Point number 3 is y'all are sharing the live. Let's stay locked in. Let's keep moving further on this. Many people pursue status. Oh, I won't get to. Okay, I'm gonna get to the next point. But I want you all to know. Okay, my wife sent me a message, let me know she made some oatmeal. I guess that was important for me to need to read at this point in time. Oh, thank you for the oatmeal. All right, number 3, wearing wealth creates status. You see what I'm saying? Some people wear wealth because it makes them feel like they have a certain status. Let me put this up here so I can see y'all comments as well. But when you're trying to work wealth, it creates freedom. Wearing wealth is going to give you a status, but when you're trying to work wealth, you don't care about a status. You want freedom. Do you want a status that is fluffed up and have nothing behind it? Or do you want to walk in financial freedom, peace of mind? You get to make whatever decision you want to make, go wherever you want to go, be wherever you want to be, whether it's locally, whether it's internationally. Do whatever you want to do. Be on whatever clock you want to be on, work whatever job you want to be on, work whatever passion projects you want to do. You want to create freedom. Speaking of passion projects, well, let me finish this topic. Many people pursue status because they want the validation. Stop worrying about validation and go get your freedom. Status requires maintenance. Freedom creates options, and that's what you want. You want options in life. One of the things that I'm doing very, very soon is I'm getting ready to go off to Cameroon, Africa, to go do some missions work on a whole nother continent. But I have the financial freedom and the ability, because of the way things are set up, to pay for that flight, to go out there and do those things, and it not be a financial burden and stressful on me, right? And then some of the work that I have to do there, I have a beautiful church family that has supported, that has given to be able to help the people that are in need in Cameroon. So the money that people have donated to me, it doesn't go to me to get over there. I can pay for my flight. I can pay for my food, my clothes, everything. So the money that the people have given, it is going to go to the ministries, to building churches, to help feeding people, to get people trained up to be able to help other people. So what they're doing is helping other people. And I'm so financially free that I can cover the cost to go do what I need to do on my end. So everything that everybody else gives, it gets sown right to people who are in need, that need these things, that need those finances, those resources, and things like that. So I'm excited about it. But none of that happens if I don't put myself in position, right? Financially. So financial freedom means more choices. It means less stress about certain things. It means greater flexibility, time freedom. All of those can be beneficial for you, because now you can go visit family, loved ones, do different things that you wanted to do. Remember what Proverbs 13:11 says. We went over that last week, that wealth gained hastily in a rush, it'll just dwindle. But whoever gathers little by little, it will increase. Whoever gathers little by little will increase it. It will continue to grow. Now, the goal isn't to impress people. It's to build a life that isn't controlled by money. Now, just because you're working your wealth doesn't mean that the money controls you. Now, once you start working wealth, it's because you control the money. I'm assigning this money to a task. I'm assigning this money to do a specific thing that I desire to do. That's control when you're working it. But when you're wearing it, when you're spending frivolously, and now you got all these bills and expenses, now your money is in control of you, because you got to get up and go to that job, because those bills aren't going to pay themselves. Now, status may attract attention, right? Status can attract attention to you, But financial freedom creates peace, and you want peace over the attention. You know, some people they get on social media, and I'm not judging anybody. Do whatever you can afford to do, right? Some people get on social media and they flash their money, or they put all the money to the ear and all that other stuff, and they have stacks and stacks of cash. Well, we know for a fact that there's this thing I call the silent money killer, and it's called inflation. And we know if your money isn't invested, especially large sums of money, isn't put somewhere or invested, it's going to lose value. So while you leave that stack of cash in the house, however much it is, 50, 100, 25,000, just sitting around, it's definitely losing value. So some people are exposing themselves when they do that to show that their financial habits may not be well. Somebody may do that just for a picture and then go put the money up and invest it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who just leave money lying around for a long period of time. That's not good. No bueno. Wealthy individuals often focus on cash flow. I want y'all to know this. I want y'all to remember this. Wealthy individuals, such as myself, I focus on cash flow. I focus on investments. I focus on ownership. We focus on compounding, making money compound interest, whether it's buying rental properties, whether it's investing monthly, building a business, acquiring assets. Those are the things that wealthy people who want to work their money do, as opposed to someone else who might be just wearing their money. Let's go a little bit further. Now, the 4 jobs of money. One thing, these are some things that you want your money to do. You want your money, you want to earn money, of course. You want it to earn. You want to keep it. You want to grow your money, and you want it to multiply. And the way you do that is by giving your money assignments. You need to assign your money. Every dollar that you have, you should be working on doing a few things with your money. Here's some good teaching points for you all that are still tuned in to Coach Steele's Finance Training, talking about all things finance. You want your money to produce income. These are some assignments. When you get paid, how many of you dollars, how many of you ducks are producing income for me? And it's okay if y'all write notes. How many of these dollars, these digital dollars, I need some of it to reduce debt. If there's bad debt, you need to reduce debt. So those are 2 things. You want it to produce income. You want it to reduce debt. You want your money to build assets, and you want it to increase your net worth. Those are some of the things that you should want your money to do. If money isn't working, eventually you'll have to work harder for money. Anytime your money quits working for you, you're going to have to work harder. Tim Scott says, we don't understand the difference between our needs and our wants. That's important to know. And another thing that's important to know, and I'm going to challenge you all on today, it's like a practical application exercise. So, and y'all share the live so other people can hear this practical application. It's a challenge that I want for you all to do. I want all the people who are participating on Coach Steele's Finance Training, I want you to divide your recent purchases into 2 columns. Now, what do y'all think these 2 columns are going to be? Your recent purchases, does it fall under the category of wearing your wealth, or does it fall under the category of working your wealth? I want y'all to make 2 lists, 2 categories in your own free time. Not right now, but in your own free time. Look at your spending over the past month of May, and does it fall under wearing or working your wealth? How much went to working your wealth? How much went to wearing it? And when we come back, I want to hear kind of some of your thoughts. You don't got to put all your business out there, but I want to hear some of y'all's thoughts on how it went for you when you looked at it. Wearing wealth, some of those categories, look at the clothes you bought, the luxury purchase, entertainment, status spending. Now, if you're working wealth, maybe you put some in investments. Maybe you put some in savings. Maybe you got rid of some debt. Because even if you got rid of debt, that's part of working your wealth, because getting rid of debt and getting rid of that monthly minimum required payment, that financing on that debt, you increase your cash flow. You worked your wealth to your benefit. Asset purchases, things like that. Get those categories. Then ask yourself which category received the most of your money this month, in the month of May. It's like, which one are you feeding? Are you feeding what you're wearing, or are you feeding your money to work for you more? So those are some of the things that you need to think about. And that's one of the challenges that I want you all to do for the month of May. And then for the next 30 days, as we go into June here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, I want y'all to delay like some wearing wealth purchases and invest that money instead. Start tracking every dollar, increase your asset column, and understand it's okay to ask yourself, look in the mirror, whatever you got to do. Those are tuning in Coach Steele's Finance Training on YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you go to Coach Steele's Finance on YouTube and subscribe. Will this purchase make me wealthy, or will this purchase make me look wealthy, or will this purchase help me become wealthy? That's what I want you all to ask yourself when you get ready to buy something that you may not need to buy. Because wearing wealth may get you noticed today, but working your wealth can create financial freedom for generations. And if it's not for generations, at least it's for yourself. True wealthy don't just spend. We strategically position our money to grow, multiply, and create a legacy. And here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, I think y'all did an awesome job on today, understanding wearing wealth versus working wealth. And I know that I may have motivated a few people on today to analyze what they're doing so that they can decide to take different action, to do things that make sense, as opposed to just following the leader or doing whatever they feel looks good or thinks good, but it may not be good for you financially. And so here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, if y'all have an opportunity, go to my Facebook page, which the name is Simon Steele. Go to my Facebook page. You'll see my picture and back picture, whatever it's called, the picture behind the profile picture. You'll see like a group of people. I'm in Cameroon, Africa. You'll see a picture there. We have on different colors taking a picture together. It's probably about 15 of us. I'm getting ready to go to Cameroon. So if you can go to my Facebook page and subscribe to the Facebook page, it's 99 cents a month. 99 cents a month. Hit that subscribe button. 99 cents a month. Your money is going to go to feed people that are hungry, clothe people, and also you'll see me put like videos. My subscribers, they know I put like videos on there sometimes that I don't just normally post on my regular Facebook page. And sometimes I post things on Cameroon on my regular Facebook page, but usually subscribers, I'll post different stuff. So when I get ready to go to Cameroon, right? When I get ready to go to Cameroon in a couple of days, I'm going to make sure that I send that information and those pictures and videos, a lot of that, to my subscribers first. So they're going to get first look at kind of some of my things that I get to do. I'm going to go work a ministry that I oversee over in Cameroon. There's 9 locations, 9 churches. We are all coming together to fellowship, get information. They'll be giving me reports of what's happened over the past year. We'll be talking about business, what we need to do. We'll be doing training, communication, evangelism, leadership, having a kingdom mindset, things like that, fellowshipping, trying to eat good. Also, I adopted a young man over in Cameroon, Africa. So I'll be spending some time with my son in Cameroon, Mr. Perez Njiro Steele. I'll be talking with him, having fun with him, hanging out with him. I'll take him to do some things that he normally would not do, normally in the small village that he stays in. So we're going to have an awesome time. And I want you all to be able to see some of those great things while helping other people. So please go to my Facebook page and subscribe for 99 cents a month. Think about it. I'm asking for 99 cents every month. That's like $12 a year. That's not much at all. It's actually less than $12 a year. So if you all can help for less than $12 a year, I'm telling you, it can eventually grow to be so many of us that are doing that 99 cents a month, that a lot of the needs that need to be taken care of when it comes to Cameroon, with us building churches and things like that, it'll be a breeze. it will be a breeze. We have 3 church projects going on right now, and I know I've shown y'all the video of those church projects already. And I wish I could get this video part right, but I usually mess it up, so I'm scared to click on it. But let's see if I can do it. Maybe not. I might have to leave it alone. Yeah, I can't figure it out on today. I can do the smaller one though. This is the smaller picture. This is one of the churches that's being worked on right now in Ile. It's a village called Ile. Those on TikTok, you probably can't see the video because I'm showing it on YouTube and Facebook. So that's one of the churches that we're working on. And then there's some other ones as well, 2 more. But appreciate y'all tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training. I really wish I could figure out how to get this thing to show. Let's see. What if I hide